believe we are live, right?
Yes, indeed we are. About to start the game, everyone is ready in the lobby. We have the final countdown.
Exactly, and today it is MetroBoomin and blazingstar against Igelschnauze and S3 Steen. So MetroBoomin and blazingstar are very strong players, and Igelschnauze and Steen are also quite decent players, so I hope this is going to be a good match.
I hope so too. I still remember that rocky game that Eagle and Steen had at the very beginning against Fotter and Jessen. Very back and forth action. And let's see if something similar happens today as well. Although I'm not really sure if that's going to be the case looking at the map and considering they all play Roman races. Looks to be quite a small map in terms of mountain. There's not that much mountain on the map, there's just two big ones in the middle and there are some of the smaller ones on the outside. Okay, I need a few minutes to set up the teams on the screen and you can tell everyone what's going on.
So I will tell everyone, as you said, what is going on. So on the left side we have S3 Steen with quite a lot of desert on his spots, on his starting spot, but he has really nice flat land from what I see, or at least some decent land. Maybe not everything here is flat, but this spot is quite decent. And we have Igelschnauze, who is orange, maybe brown. So some people say it's brown, some people say it's orange in the game. He also have a quite nice spots, a lot of stones, a lot of wood on his starting spot, etc. And on the right side, on the upper part of the right side, we have MetroBoomin, and down there is blazingstar. So it's Metro versus Steen, and it is blazingstar versus Igelschnauze. Of course, there is team positioning in this map on this map, so it might be a long game. But as we know, when we predict something in the beginning, it can go completely different. So we will see what will happen. There is a small clash between Metro soldiers and Steen, but he just backed up. I mean, Steen just backed up, but has lost one soldier. It won't matter a lot, I guess, but at least they're providing us with some little fun at the beginning. Some little fights. The start from the Metro is quite basic with the Rome. Nothing strange is happening, obviously. As we can see, Metro is towering towards middle, a bit faster, I think, than Igelschnauze. blazingstar is also piling to the middle, a bit faster than the Eagle. But the Eagle is also coming with the Pios, so the both teams are starting the fight for the middle. And I think it's the first deciding thing that can happen. Steen is going with some pioneers on the middle of the mountain, so he might want to claim the middle part of the map and have some advantage over Metro with having more mountains. As we know from the previous games, it can pay off, but it can slow you down. So it's always a bit risky, but can be fruitful. It can give some nice advantage. So we will see what happens with that. But fighting for mountains, since there are not so many mountains on this map, can be possibly quite important thing. Can be a game changer. Well,
especially the longer the game goes, the more these towers matter. Before we dive into the game itself and more, I'd like to say who banned what. I think that's quite interesting. I did not think Metro and Blazing would want to play Romans both. So Metro started off by banning Amazons and Asians, And then Steen banned Egyptians. I mean, it's a smart move on his part. We all know Metro is a great Egyptian player, although his Roman play is also not too shabby. And then Eagle started off by banning Amazons and Egyptians, and Blazing banned Asians. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe Blazing doesn't feel too confident with Asians. He probably doesn't have that many games, but I think in general, Eagle just plays very little Asians. I saw in the Power BI he played only 3 games very, very recently. I guess he was maybe expecting Blazing to pick that, but it didn't happen, so they're all playing all Romans. And I would say Eagle and Steen, they will have a tall order winning this map, because I think Metro and Blazing are one of the top teams in this tournament. Definitely my maybe top 3 team, and I think if they try hard enough, they can win the whole thing if the styles align as well.
Fearles, as you're saying about your top 3, who is in your top 3? I mean, all the teams.
I would say that's Blazing and Metro, Senna and Generalen, and I think maybe Suma and Captain Obvious.
Yeah, they had really nice performance in the game.
Yeah.
Versus you at school and Exchange.
Yeah, maybe before that game I would say New at School and Exchange, although that game we didn't get the chance to cast it, unfortunately, because it overlapped with the 2.5-hour game from Wolves and ZWQ. However, that was one of the few games in the tournament where the team that won did not really... the team that lost didn't make any mistake in terms of build. They just had soldiers out of position. So maybe we shouldn't count Stecken and Exchange just yet. But yeah, I think Suma and Captain Obvious, they look very strong. What about your top 3?
For sure, MetroBoomin and blazingstar, Generalen and Senna. But I think that I agree with those 2 for sure. But I think that maybe some team from a loser bracket might be there too. So maybe Exchange and New at School, or maybe Mati and Etan. I mean, they have lost with their rush on Generalen and Senna, but it was still quite good rush. I would say it was still quite dangerous. It's just very difficult to rush such players as Sen and Generalen because they're very good players. But I would say that possibly they're still at the top 3. But of course, Suma and Captain Obvious are also very close to it. So I'm not sure about which of the teams are better. But for sure, Etan and Mati could possibly win against them, so could have a chance to win against them. So I would say it's something like that for me, and I'm very interested who will win the lose bracket. I think it's very interesting.
We'll see. I'm not gonna go into the future that much, but you're right. We haven't seen much from Ethan and Mati just yet, and they're way more active than Suma and Suma especially, who isn't really playing that much. So Suma might not know some like modern tactics. We'll see. But let's get back into the game. Maybe they are still fighting for the mountain. I'm not really sure who is going to be ahead. The bottom guys seem to be building the tower in exactly the same place, whereas in the top guys, Steen is building towards this middle valley, and the Metro didn't choose not to send the Pious Street. He's building the tower straight up. I'm not really sure if he will destroy that tower at the end of the path from Grey. I think it will be just barely out of range. And if Steen manages to build that tower, he'll secure quite a bit of mountain in the mirror.
Okay, let's take a look at who is faster. Which team is faster? Who has more buildings? Maybe start with MetroBoomin. What do you think about his current situation?
Not just sure, just looking around. I think it's all pretty standard so far. Obviously, when you're building the towers towards the middle like Steen does, you're bound to be a little bit ahead. But I don't see really that much of a difference between these 2 players. Metro has already sent a few geologists and searching the mountain, which I really like. That allows you to have a slightly better chance to catch like a good mines early on. That's very important. For a second there I thought they don't have access to fish and water, but that's not the case. There's a river close by in the north. Same for the other team, they're very close. They have a nice shoreline to build fishes and whatnot. It doesn't look like there is any rush going down. I'm looking now at Igelschnauze, who's leveled 3 wineries, adding another medium residence and now leveling the weaponsmith. Nothing too out of the ordinary, except there is no farm just yet. Whereas blazingstar is going for the early farm and also 4 wineries, so there's a bit of deviation in that case. And we'll see what comes out of it.
Yeah, mana can be quite a huge advantage, I think. Because having a quicker convert in this matchup might make a difference. It doesn't have to, of course. It depends on how the game will look like. And it seems that Steen will win the middle tower, the first one, and I guess the second one. So Steen and Igelschnauze will have advantage. Possibly will have advantage on the middle. Even though that at the beginning it looked that Metro has some advantage with building towards middle and blazingstar, but I think now it seems that Steen is a bit faster. It could build a small bio street to connect this middle tower a bit quicker. I mean, not to force settlers to go for the mountains when they're going slower than while on the mountain, but it's just a minor thing. But it seems that obviously the Steen and Igelschnauze team will have advantage on mountains for now on. So that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
But blazingstar is also building towards this middle ground to secure some mountain there, so it's not going to be too much of a mountain. For the Eagle and Steen. I mean, not that much more, but well, we will see soon.
We'll see how resourceful they are, the mountains in the middle. I'm wondering, I think Steen will have a bit of a settlers problem quite soon, because he's only on 2. He's working only with 2 small residences, and he's already building wineries. I mean, this winery in the top side of his country isn't ideal. I'm not really sure where he plans to plant his crops. It looks like very flat land right next to it, but we'll see. So I wonder if they will be able to carry the materials to that tower you mentioned in the valley. I mean, he should still be ahead of Blazing in that regard, because Blazing is only now starting to shovel that tower.
Well, Blazing will have quite quick 2 farms, and it seems that he will have them way faster than Igelschnauze, because of some differences of how he used his spot. So that's a good thing for blazingstar. And it seems, I have just checked it, that both blazingstar and Metro has some free settlers for now, and both Steen and Igelschnauze has some problems with that. But Steen will quite soon have a middle residence, so it will stop to be a problem. But what is interesting, Steen starts to build a large temple. He already has some wood there, so maybe some rush is going on.
I'm not really sure. He leveled it and he sent the planks as well. And he just stopped it. I think that might have been a mistake to send those planks in there. And we can see his wineries aren't ideal either. He's only now finishing the medium residence, so a bit of a rocky start for him already. And someone is pinging the middle tower. I'm not really sure who that was. So probably the left team. The build is already coming, and he should be first with that tower in the middle.
Yeah, I think that if they have more mountains, they shouldn't go for a rush if these middle mountains are good. Just, wait for a long play until you have more weaponsmiths and etc. But well.
Exactly. If you take the if you take more mountain in the map, the other team is sort of on the clock. They have to do something before the additional mines will start making a difference.
Yeah, because at some point you can just, play defensively, keep on building. That's a very important thing, to keep on building, and just wait for the victory if it goes well. But we will see what decisions will be made.
You can see both teams are actively scouting out on the map, sending spies. I mean, it's a good time to do so. Not really sure if Igelschnauze managed to sneak through with his spies, because I see that Blazing is monitoring the space south from their land with his own spy, and he should be able to intercept any incoming spies from Igelschnauze.
Yeah, from my experience, I would say that spying Metro is quite difficult. Same as spying you, for instance, because he's a player who is able to actively counter spy, and well, that's a very good thing to do.
Yeah, but luckily Steen managed to sneak up a spy on Metro, standing right on his starting resources, so he knows exactly what's going on. And Metro, as opposed to Blazing, opted to build a weaponsmith before the farm, so a bit of a, I would say, defensive play. I'm not really sure if it's dictated by the fact that the other team chose to build a weaponsmith before the farm. But nonetheless, better safe than sorry. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Metro also went for 3 wineries in this case.
Yeah, as we can see, Stain took some of Metro and Blazing mountains, but it's not that much. But Blazing managed to secure the rest of it, so it's not much of a difference for now, from what we can see. But well, maybe if there are some very good mines, it can be a huge difference. So we will see how these mountains will be like. Igelschnauze is finally building his farms, but at the same time, blazingstar already has 2. They're working, so he's faster with that.
It shows a bit of a skill difference between these 2 players already. You can see that the Igelschnauze went for the fast weaponsmith, and he's not really ahead in that regard. Maybe in that he has mines already placed in, and Blazing is only starting to build them now, but I think those farms will very quickly start paying off for Blazing.
Yes, Romans, it's very important to have your food as quickly as possible. I think it's the biggest difference in terms of longer play.
And Steen is still not building that big, large temple, so I presume that was a mistake. He just wanted to level it. I mean, it's all fine. He could even crash it.
Steen just made a slightly mistake, because he has written on a old chat that Metro starts to making sword thread now.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that's a mistake, or it could be a bug of the spectator mode. Don't quote me on that. It could be that he wrote it in team chat and we see it as old chat.
Yep.
I'm not really sure, but I think
this mind game.
Yeah, but Metro is indeed making swords. And that's not a mistake. He purposely put on full-on sword and bow production. So that's a composition you use in order to be aggressive early on. We'll see if they make any gold. Maybe they've noticed that they've lost a little bit of mountain in the middle. They want to, I don't know, take that tower potentially, because it's going to be vulnerable for quite some time, considering also how long the border of Grey is. Taking building the tower is one thing, and then securing it is another.
And then we'll take a look again on the settler situation, and when I see at this moment, all players have quite a good flow with the settlers at the moment. so no one is struggling right now.
You can see a reaction from Steen, and he's building spears in order to defend potential aggression from Metro. And you can see he's also trying to build that middle house, and people keep bugging in, like the guy is carrying in materials. It happens quite often recently, I've noticed. The middle house from Romans, they get stuck quite often at the entrance. And the fact that there's this like large boulder, like a stone right in front of it, doesn't help either.
Yeah, you have to be cautious while setting the middle houses from Romans. Not to have anything in front of this building, not to get stuck.
Metro is building an interesting fisherman. Right in the middle there's the tiniest lake you can possibly imagine. And I wonder if there will be any fish in there. I mean, realistically there shouldn't be, but again, it's settlers, so maybe a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, it can happen, so it's quite interesting. Just a small thing, but it's quite interesting if it's gonna bring some fish on. As we can see, Metro is putting his third farm. For now, he's just digging it up. And Steen has only one farm for now. So I think that it looks that the food industry is going better for Metro and blazingstar team. They're for sure faster with that.
Yeah, Blazing managed to squeeze in nice 2 farms, whereas Eagle did not fight that space. I think he built a forester and woodcutter there, therefore did not have space. He only built them in the right by the mirror.
Metro already has 4 mines, 2 coal and 2 iron mines, and he's the fastest player with that on the map. As Blazing also has 4 mines just down there, and Igelschnauze has 3, so it's not that many as them, but of course it's also decent. And Steen is slowest in terms of mines. He has just 1 iron mine and starts to build right now a coal mine. But it's quite interesting, because Metro is going for a 3rd iron mine. Why he decided to do so? What's your interpretation of that?
I'm not really sure. Maybe he thought that the 2 he built are bad and he will crush them. Or, I mean, I do it sometimes when I go for the 3 weaponsmith before the toolsmith, and I go for the level 3 rush. But I don't think he's going for that, because he did not save the hammer, and he only has 1 weaponsmith. Not sure. Maybe he'll crush the others if the one that he's building now is better. I'm not sure, we'll have to see.
And he starts to build a large temple too. No, and the second blacksmith. Oh, he just stopped it and changed the location of these buildings.
And change the order too. The large temple is quite fast, I would say. Usually you want to build it after the second weaponsmith. And considering he has only 3 small temples, right? Yeah.
Yes, I think that
you won't have the convergence yet.
Both teams are quite fast with their building. They have a nice tempo, I think. Igelschnauze is also building a large temple. Blazing too, so everyone is going to have a large temple. I think that in 2v2 it's quite an important thing to have this large temples quite quickly, not to get rushed with some quick convert, for instance.
Yeah, that is actually right. You want to have it like around 30 to 35th minute mark, so that the priest exits the temple right when the convert arrives. So far I think I like the Blazing Star game the best, although he's not doing anything with the coal that's piling up in front of the mines. He should be sending it on the market. Small oversight over there, and he's sending all the fish into the iron ore mines, I guess.
And that's a good thing that Igelschnauze does, because he's storing his coal and some iron ore with his market, so that's a nice thing. Good choice.
There's MetroBoomin send a few pioneers to the right bottom side of the map. It often happens when you misclick sending your pioneers and you almost barely click on the minimap and they send it to that corner.
Oh, maybe he plans to build a secret tower there as a backup.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's not a muff, it's Metro, so I'm not going to expect it. But if it was Muff playing, I would say that it was possible that he just sent him to build a tower just for the lols. And I'm not laughing it off, I respect this attitude.
Interestingly enough, Metro is building a fourth iron mine, and he didn't crash the ones that he built so far, and he has a gold mine already built, but he doesn't have a pickaxe there, I think. Or maybe no, he's coming actually, the guy with the pick. So he's coming to the gold mine instead of the third coal mine. But he doesn't look to be building the goldsmith just yet, so it will be just for the gold ore so far.
Yeah, and he's struggling with lack of coal, so maybe it would be even a good decision for Blazing to send some coal for Metro, to have if he's not storing it for himself. So they could do some different things with that.
Especially considering.
And I think, as I know Metro, he might be going for a level 3 swords, because he did a typical thing for level 3 swords pushes. He recruited 10 bows, so I guess that might be a thing. But no, he's building bows only, so maybe not. Well, we will see what will happen.
Steen has a spy right next to it, so he'll spot that he's recruiting bows, I guess. I wanted to add up that Blazing has a incredibly good coal mines, almost 90%, all of them.
And he just started to to store some coal.
He must have heard us.
Yeah, it happens from time to time that they hear us. I mean, they act like they hear us. And what is interesting, Metro is going for a 5th winery, so I guess that, for instance, having 2 fast converts might be a thing. What do you think about that?
It's very late, the 5th one. I'm not really sure why he goes for that. The build, at least to me, his build seems to be a little bit all over the place. Has 3 farms, goes for the 5th winery, and is doing the weird thing with the iron mines, although he stopped the 4th one, thank god. And he crushed one of his coal mines. It must have been bad, and he chose to not waste any more breath on that one. I wonder which level 3 he's gonna go for bows, I guess, right? He's only storing 6 swords so far, and he's leveling the gold smelter. So it looks like they want to see we will see some action early on. Possibly they will try to take that tower in the middle.
Yeah, Blazing is going for another farm, and he starts to build a big farm. He's storing some I just forgot a word, which is farm producing wheat. Yeah, wheat. And Blazing Star started to use his geologist on this behind mine, on the far east. And at the same time, Igelschnauze sent some pioneers to this mountain too, so both teams started their interests with this part of a map.
It's quite soon, I would say, considering how good the mountain is in the middle. Although I guess they've searched all of it, so why not send the remaining geologists to the outer mountain, sorry. And I'm looking at the Grey country right now. Steen has a bit of a stone problems. He has 5 stone cutters. However, they looks like they cut off most of the stone close by, and they have to walk the distance in order to get some more stone. And I mean, he just doesn't have enough currently. He has rebuilt some of them in the east, but they only now started working, and he needs to pioneer more stone fields over there, because they will chop through the stones that they have quite quickly, I would say. So even though Metro's build is quite kind of all over the place, Steen is struggling even more because due to the lack of stone, and we can see his sawmills are overflowing because of it.
Yep, I think that both Metro and Blazing have quite a nice advantage with the food. Metro already has some bread. Blazing will start producing pigs quite quickly. But on the other hand, Igelschnauze and Steen also have pig farms, but they're not working yet. I think that's just started working for Igelschnauze. So Igelschnauze might have pigs even before Blazing Star, because Blazing Star decided to build a pig farm quite late in comparison to the Igelschnauze. But he has more wheat, so his food economy will work better, I guess.
Yeah, Eagle, after a rocky start, he managed to stabilize, I guess. And he's doing, I mean, relatively fine, a little bit better than his teammate. And we can see they're typing in chat. So it looks like they're not on voice channel of any sort. It might be quite of a disadvantage for them. You always want to be on a voice chat with your teammate. You just can convey the information way faster that way.
Yeah, of course, voice chat is a huge advantage too. You need to have it.
So now I'm wondering when the Blazing Star and Metro will decide to pull the trigger, and when we will see some action. We can see Metro is storing more swords, and yeah, he's building equal amount of swords and bows currently. And I think he will hit the level 3 for swords, as you mentioned. He likes to do it. He's been killing people with it recently, quite a lot.
Yeah, he likes to kill people with the swords. I've been his victim once, so I know that quite well. And this far east and far west mines seems to be quite incredible. There's a very good coal and very good iron. Blazing Star is already there with his spies for a coal mine, but there's another good coal mine there and another iron mine there, so it looks quite good. Igelschnauze is also going there, but he's slower with that.
I presume he'll build the iron mine first, because Blazing, that is, because his first iron mines, they're not that great. Like one is 37%.
Oh, that's Igelschnauze is doing a thing that I think you would like. He took 10 of his swordsmen on the back of Blazing Star, and there is a lonely tower at Blazing Star. And I think Blazing Star is not expecting this swordsman to go in.
Yeah, but there's a bit of a long way, like when he enters the border, until that tower, so it might be difficult for him to start hitting it without Blazing spotting it. I guess he would have to do some attack up front in order to distract Blazing, but we'll see what happens. They don't have gold, mind you, so he would have to. So the taking of the tower will be quite slow, although there's only a lonely Goldman in there. So I guess he should be fine if he reaches it.
I think what is important, Steen has better production of weapons than Metro. He has 2 working blacksmiths, and Metro has only 1. He's storing some gold, but he has only one weaponsmith working at the moment, and he's storing some gold. So I guess that Steen is, in terms of coal, thanks to having coal, is doing better in these terms.
Yeah, you're right. That's very surprising to me. I'm not really sure what happened with the iron here, but he's well, he needs more coal right now. He only has 1 weaponsmith, but he's making gold, so it's quite understandable. But I think he should have 2, despite making gold anyway.
Yeah, but the situation at Metro is a bit messy now. I think that he just, makes some changes in what he wants to play, and actually I would say that the situation at Steen might look a bit better, but he has only 1 farm. And that's, well, in terms of later part of the game, Metro will look better, I think. But for now, Steen has some advantage.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. There's another farm right by the border, but it's only now starting to work. And let me check if Metro has any deep spies planned in. No, he does not. I think Steen has 1 in the back. Yeah, it's still standing by the barracks, and it's in quite an obvious space, so it's quite surprising to me that Metro is not spotting it and killing it. I think he would have spotted that in normal game. Maybe the tournament just, people get nervous and they don't notice some obvious stuff. And Steen is communicating to his teammate that Metro went back for the source production, and that's very good info. So they have a very clear view of the situation. Let me check if Igelschnauze has spy blazingstar. Yes, he does. It's by that tower that you mentioned. There's only 1 additional swordman guarding that tower, but Eagle is not pulling the trigger just yet. Somebody pinged the bottom right location where the swords are. I presume that was Steen, right? Maybe no, it was blazingstar. There is a spy hidden behind the tree, so they're very well aware of those swordmen. Nice play there by Blazing, spotting that it's important to have spies around your base in order to protect towers like these. It's not a bad idea to have towers like this per se. You need to be safe in case you get rushed up front. But maybe putting 2 bowmen and switching that swordman into the spearman would be a better choice, just to be a little bit more sure.
What we can see, Metro is going for a quite quick second big farm. That's a common thing for him to do, and I also quite like making quite quick second iron mine. But he still has some problems with coal. But I guess they will just end up quite quickly, as he has his toolsmith and he has bread, so he will be fine with the coal quite soon. Yeah, maybe let's take a look on the soldier numbers. So Steen has 60 soldiers, while Metro has 42 and 18 swords. So it's quite equal, but at the same time, Steen is waiting, I guess, for level 3 spears, or maybe he has some lack of settlers. No, he's okay with settlers, so I think he might be waiting for level 3 spears to counter level 3 swords from Metro, I guess. But Metro, he will have level 3 and very, very quickly, because it's 90%, and at Steen it's just 12%. So He has to wait a bit for level 3. At the same time, Igelschnauze has 70 soldiers and 11 bows. And the blazingstar has also 70 soldiers, so it's quite equal, but 20 bows, and he is also waiting for level 3 bows, which will happen very quickly. It just happened. He has it right now, and Eagle has only 18% towards level 3 bows, so both Metro and blazingstar will have advantage of much quicker level 3.
Yeah, and with that comes the advantage of having convert first, and then the second convert most importantly first, because they all have the first one already in. And I would say, looking at Metro, he's quite lucky. I would say that his that Steen isn't really playing that great. As I mentioned, yeah, he's only now taken more stone fields on the left-hand side of his country because he was struggling. He's still struggling with stone. Perhaps adding 2 more stone cutters, considering he has a toolsmith already, would be a wise choice for that. I hope he doesn't run into settlers problems because of it. And we can see Steen is recruiting level 2 spears, seeing that Metro has level 3 already. And also surprisingly, Metro added the charcoal maker. I'm not really sure where that comes from, because he only has 2 sawmills, and it's not really worth making charcoal that quickly into the game. So we'll see where those swords will go. So far they're up north. But there should be a priest coming from... Yeah, there's a priest up front from Igelschnauze. So then they obviously know what's going on, and they probably see where those swords are coming. But first there's an aggression from blazingstar, as he's taking gold from his mate. I wonder if Eagle has a priest here. Yeah, he does. Okay, that's fine. And mind you, all of the farms from Eagle are up front, so losing those towers is out of question. If he loses them, that's a game over for them, I would say. And let's see how much of a commitment Blazing chooses to go for. I would say Eagle has more than enough soldiers to defend, unless there's a big of a misplay. Or unless it's just a diversion action to maybe take some towers back, but I don't think so. Yeah, and he goes back, seeing that he does not have enough to do any meaningful damage here. He didn't even choose to do any fighting there whatsoever.
Yeah, and in terms of this middle mountains, I think that Metro and Blazing were quite lucky, as there's like almost nothing.
And there's Igelschnauze decided to pull the trigger with his swordman from the bottom. It was when blazingstar was attacking. The Blazing spotted that in time, and he crashed that tower. And those swords will not manage to do any damage right now. But we'll see what happens later on. Now we have to understand that Blazing has only 3 towers, I believe, and they're all by the border. Maybe he should build one in the back, somewhere where there are no buildings at all, just in case, just to be safe.
Yeah, but for now it's not too much of a threat, as Eagle has less soldiers than blazingstar, so it's not a threat yet. And well, Metro has some of this level 3 swords, but I think Steen has enough to defend, at least for now. So Metro switched to making bows and spears, and he's not attacking yet, but I guess that he was waiting for the level, for the second convert, as Metro has now 2 converts, and Blazing will have them too, so they could just go there with 4 converts, as Eagle has only 1, and Steen, I guess, also has only 1 convert, so they have like 2 converts more, and that is quite a huge difference.
Yeah, Metro has these 5 small temples. It starts paying off just now. And you can see Steen is adding 2 more wineries. I wonder why, if it's a response from Metro, or he just doesn't feel like he has enough mountain to build more farms. I think he should just go for the farms. adding the Winers at this point is a bit of a... It's just too late. You might as well add another farm or two, add a weaponsmith and just, you know, compensate with having more army and counter the advantage from your enemies.
Yeah, and as MetroBoomin mines are just starting, you know, to work properly with the new food, then Steen just stopped a bit. So he's a bit of trouble in these terms. He doesn't have coal right now, and well, Metro has more. He still lacks some coal, but it's a better situation, and he has like 5 coal mines, and 4 of them have bread, so they will be working fine.
And there's an aggression going on. Blazing is pushing in south side yet again, and as you said, they were waiting for the 2 converts. They have them. I mean, Blazing, that is. There's no priest from Metro here. I don't see it at least, so it have to be just him, and we have to keep in mind that there is a priest from Grey, and as he just used the convert, I would say a bit preemptively maybe. Blazing chooses to use 1 convert of his own, converting the spears, can tank some damage. Another convert from Blazing and convert from Igelschnauze as well. I don't think Blazing will be able to do any damage in here. He's losing quite a bit of soldiers, so I presume he should go back as to not die to a counterattack, although Blazing and Eagle and Steen, they don't really have gold just yet.
Yeah, but I think it could be a good idea for Metro to attack at this moment, as he has his 2 converts, and the opposite team has none of them. So maybe he could have a good advantage there.
Yeah, he has a bit of a window. I would say a few minutes before the second converts from Eagle and Steen kick in, and that's what he's doing, I guess, pushing.
Yeah, Metro is attacking as he just recruited a lot of pioneers. That's a typical thing for Metro, to have a small pioneer army. There's like 41 of them. So attacking with 2 converts, swordsmen, and pioneers, that's exactly the thing that Metro would do. It's a typical thing for him. And well, I guess he has a chance. He has 70 soldiers, and Steen has 94, so it's more, but he has level 3 soldiers and has 2 converts. So I think he might have a chance, but it's not 100% sure.
Let's see how they choose to defend, because Steen is leaving some of his soldiers down south. I don't think that's a good idea. He should bring them up, all up to fight. There's a fistering field going down, but we have to remember those swords, they deal a lot of damage, level 3 swords especially, and considering he has almost 60% combat power. Let's see, there are a lot of pioneers from Metro dying, but not so many soldiers, I don't think. And once those festering fears run off, he should be able to take those towers, I think. And Steen is still not pulling up soldiers, and I think Eagle is sending reinforcements. And only now Steen moved those soldiers up, and yeah, 1 tower falls, another should fall as well. Albeit the Metro is not really focusing on that, and he lost quite a bit of swords, only there are a bunch of bows back then, and some spears from the converts, I guess. So I'm not really sure if that tower on the left will fall. Metro would have to focus on that, and that's what he's doing right now.
I think it will fall. It looks like Steen will... Yeah, now we can see he will lose it for sure. Steen just staying GG. And... yes, I think Steen is dying right now.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of farms, a lot of buildings. There's a farm. Luckily the pig farm survived, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference, because Steen will die completely. He will lose all of those towers. He just doesn't have enough soldiers. But I think he had a chance if he only fought slightly bit better. Maybe surrendering those 2 towers and then going back, waiting for Igelschnauze reinforcements would have been a better idea. You can see he did not. He chose to fight right away, and he lost the one.
Yeah, Igelschnauze just, it's a nice Nice fair play move, as he said. Good luck next. So that's quite nice thing. Steen just said that he has made a mistake with wine. Well, from what we can see, we have to agree with the Steen that he indeed made a mistake. Or maybe it's not a mistake from him, but rather a good play from Metro, a good decision from him.
Yeah, but
Because
the game, at least... Yeah.
In some cases, it doesn't have to be a mistake that you just don't build. That's the point.
Yeah, at least the game for me wasn't that obvious from the very start. Metro made a few mistakes, and I think Steen and Eagle had a chance of winning that only if they defended that correctly. But that was a nice play, even though they messed up their builds. I mean, Metro, that is. They had a good idea of having Blazing push south, waste all the converts, and then Metro went in having two converts advantage. Very nice plays there.
Yeah, Igelschnauze just destroyed himself, and Steen will lose his last tower soon, so the game is over. It was quite a nice match. I liked it.
Okay, let's take a look at the stats.
So well played, guys.
You can see the soldiers count is very much even from both teams. Obviously the difference there is the mana count, which Blazing and Metro have way more, as well as the gold. Only now Steen was starting to make gold, so there was no potential for any counter-attack for Igelschnauze when his mate was dying. Now, as the fights show, Steen and Eagle, they tried, and especially their Eagle had a pretty good fight south, but just because they used two of the converts, then Steen couldn't handle the north attack. I would say maybe the using two converts south was a bit preemptive. They could have just saved one and then try to defend north fight as well. That was quite a predictable move from Metro at this point.
Yeah, I think it seems that Metro and blazingstar, they're more experienced players, and that was the biggest difference here.
Yep, I agree. Oh, sorry about the cup. Okay, so Metro and Blazing, they're moving forward to what is the semi-final of the winners bracket. Nice job there, and Eagle and Steen going to the losers bracket. And thank you guys all for watching today's game, and thank you Rock for casting. And I guess we'll see you guys next game. Bye bye.
See ya, bye.